Hi, my name is Alexandra Richie, and I'll be your lead historian for the rise and fall of Hitler's Germany. This is one of the latest tours that's been put on by the National World War II Museum, and it's a fantastic journey through the history of the Second World War, but as seen from the perspective of Germany and Poland. We start our journey in the city of Berlin, where Hitler came to power and where he really took power. Berlin was really Hitler's nerve center from which he controlled the entire Third Reich. And we go to the places where he seized power. We go to the Brandenburg Gate. We see the massive torchlight parade. We go to the scene of the Reichstag fire, which gave him the powers of the Enabling Act to take people's rights away. We go to the book burning scene where Goebbels burned books. And we also go to the Olympic Stadium, where Hitler staged the 1936 Games. We also go to darker places, to the Villa at Wannsee, where Reinhard Heydrich finalized the mass murder of the European Jews in the final solution. And we also end up in Potsdam, where the famous 1945 conference took place, which registered the borders for post-war Europe. From Berlin, we journey south and head toward the city of Wrocław, site of the very famous siege of Breslau in 1945. We then follow General von Rundstedt's footsteps as he prepared for the invasion of Poland in 1939. And we go to Żagań, where the famous camp Stalag Luft 3 was, where Allied prisoners of war were kept, and of course was made famous by the film The Great Escape. We next journey to the beautiful city of Krakow, which was very little destroyed during the war, but of course it also has a World War II history. This was the place, for example, where Hans Frank set himself up, half-jokingly, as the King of Poland in the Wawel Castle, and took for his own personal property Leonardo da Vinci's Lady with an Ermine, which he put in his bedroom. We also go to the once thriving Jewish quarter in Kashmir, some of which still remains. See a restored synagogue and some of the places that still exist, the old houses and so on. But the next day, we make the tragic journey to Auschwitz and Auschwitz-Birkenau, where so many hundreds of thousands of Polish Jews and Jews from all over Europe perished. From Krakow, we go up to Gdansk. We stay in the Grand Hotel Sopot, where Hitler, Ribbentrop, Goebbels, Goering, and many other top Nazis came to stay or visited during the invasion of Poland. We go to Westerplatte, where the first shots of the war were fired. And we go into the beautiful city of Gdansk, which has now been renovated, but which was very badly destroyed at the end of the Second World War. We journey from Gdansk down toward the Wolfschanze, Hitler's headquarters in what used to be East Prussia. This is the place from which the Wehrmacht and Hitler and the top brass really defended the Third Reich and attacked the Soviet Union. This is a very terrifying place. One really starts to get a hint of Hitler's madness by looking at these massive bunkers. And he lived there for over 800 days during the Second World War. This was also the site of Stauffenberg's attempted assassination of Hitler on the 20th of July, 1944. We end our journey in Warsaw. The first evening we go to the Warsaw Uprising Museum, where we meet Polish veterans from the Second World War who fought both in the uprising but also in places like Monte Cassino and in Holland. We then have our final evening at a Polish dwór, a Polish manor house, which was taken over during the war by Herbert Gila, who was the most highly decorated Waffen-SS general in the Second World War. He made it his headquarters during the Warsaw Uprising and the fighting on the Eastern Front in August-September 1944. This is a very personal journey. Of course, we look at some very difficult and tragic aspects of the past, but we also have a lot of fun on the way. The hotels are fantastic, the food is magnificent, and it really is up to the standards you've come to expect from a luxury tour from the National World War II Museum. So please come and join me at what I think is a historical journey of a lifetime through World War II history in Central Europe, the rise and fall of Hitler's Germany.